Greetings, this is Ron Smalek, and I'm reading Mockingjay, which is the third book in the Hunger Games series by Suzanne Collins. What follows are my thoughts chapter by chapter. Alright, in chapter 23, they move into the populated area of the capital. They come up to the street level, and they find basically an abandoned house. Of course, the capital folks being so lavish in their clothing and their makeup, they're able to disguise themselves and start moving through the town. Cressida knows of someone that she thinks she can trust, and they go to Tigress's hideout. Now, it's been a pretty long time since I've read a sci-fi book, or any book for that matter, where you've got this long stretch of normal activity, characters, maybe high-tech or whatnot, and then all of a sudden, like in the middle of the book, it starts getting really weird, and weird-looking stuff happens, and it's like the author's just trying to be artistic. I don't know why this happens, but Tigress is definitely, if not the beginning of this, definitely marks the fact that this is in full swing now, because she is fully made up to look like a tiger with implanted whiskers and stripes, and she's a fashion designer that sells furry underwear. I'm just like, I know the capital's weird, but did this really need to be in here? So, chapter 24, I actually forgot to mention before that during the escape, PETA threw Mitchell, which was one of the peacekeepers, threw him into one of the pods in his attempt to get at Katniss, and basically killed him. And this is something that PETA's been struggling with. But as they're hiding in Tigress's basement, kind of peeking out the windows and stuff, they see refugees in the capital streaming past, and people are crowding into houses near the center of the capital. They hear the head peacekeeper remind people that it will drop well below freezing tonight. And this stuck out to me as well, because I don't remember it being winter. But I guess suddenly Suzanne Collins decided that it was important to be winter. I have a feeling that it's because Katniss, Gale, Cressida, and Pollux now get all bundled up and go out into the crowd and start walking towards Snow's mansion before refugees get into the store. And I think Suzanne Collins needed an excuse for them to be wearing big coats and scarves, so she just made it winter. It's the only thing I can think of, unfortunately. PETA also takes off, and basically he goes separate from them to cause a diversion in case they need it. And I'm like, I just don't understand why they trust him all of a sudden, why they're letting him go off on his own. I know it's going to come back and bite them. I also wondered at this point, like, what if it's not even the real PETA? I mean, the Capitol is able to make these crazy, amazing things with genetic mutations. What if it's a mutt just made to look like PETA, and that's why it's having all these memory problems? So we get to a point where they're going through the crowd, and all of a sudden rebels appear on the rooftop. They start shooting into the crowd of refugees instead of hitting the peacekeepers. I don't know, it just seemed a little bit hard to see, to envision. The pods are also very hard to envision, because one of them apparently like opens up a big huge crack in the ground for people to fall down into like a death pit. And I'm just like, I don't understand, why are these pods here in the city? Like, were they there the whole time and we just didn't know it? Like, in the movie, I'm going to have to go back and watch it again at some point and look at the shots of the Capitol and see, are there like these just pods randomly around? I don't know. Gale gets captured. There's no sign of PETA. And then I was like, WTF. Snow has a human shield of children around his mansion, which I can understand that part. But all of a sudden, parachutes come down and he starts killing the kids who are his shield around his mansion. And I was like, I literally shouted out loud, like, what the heck is going on? This book just got terrible. Kids are being exploded with bombs. And then we see Prim, of course, in her medic, rushing in to help. And I thought at this point that Katniss and Prim were going to work together. And then, of course, I forgot, every chapter ends with a cliffhanger and more parachutes explode. So I literally swore out loud at this point.